success with it in regular season. They had success with it on LAN in Tulsa and at Frag. And so they've just brought that strength through. If Nuke, I expect to be a vision map. I'll be very surprised if AZIO can bring that one through. But the other two maps are where they're going to have to make their mark.
Well, this is the first mark. In fact, the first blood will be spilled in the knife round. To a one-on-one, little slash and dash. Modem will put the exclamation mark on it and make the call as to whether they want to play CT or T side. Very balanced map. The knife round is merely a formality for this map, I believe. So AZIO, I believe, sticking right where they're at. No,
you know, I don't
swapped
know.
it over. They go on T.
I don't know if I've gotten an opportunity to watch either of these rosters on cash in their current iterations.
I don't think I've casted a cash map at GEXCon yet. Have you?
I want to say yes, but I'm not actually sure.
Because cash is one of those backbone maps. If you're not good at cash, I mean, what are you doing? It's very simplistic, easy executes, easy smokes.
It's a common middle ground, especially now that we've gotten to best of threes and vetoes play more of a factor. You get to that common ground, and it's a place where a lot of teams wind up. Now we're going into the pistol round, so there is some utility available for AZIO. They have actually got 2 players up with the utility, so clearly there's a plan in action. But a Proto's been boosted up. He's coming over the counter boost. He's going to catch them from behind. They're expecting it, but they're going to have to move out quickly now. If he takes heads, there's 2. A Proto having big impact already, and I believe they were considering boosting up a second player, but it's actually going to be Caboose who slides around.
Well,
they catch a kill on sight.
They've seen bomb. They have already captured AZIO on site. And they've got frontline defense. There's nowhere to go at this point. The A side is already so easy to retake to begin with. So they get an easy just refrag towards the end of that one. Vision Gaming just outmaneuvering AZIO to start off the pistol round. A counter boost in mid is, if you can catch them without them finding that, and especially the way that was played out, what do you say, it was a Prado that came down and got a double kill, saw a bomb, everybody rotates off the B site, and the round is basically over just off of a boost.
The only real solution to that for AZIO would have been if Hunter, because Hunter was checking for it, if he immediately hits the shot. He had to immediately hit the shot, and as soon as there's hesitation, even if they eventually clean it up, which they did, there's so much chaos thrown in the ranks that it's just hard to recover from. Floppy going to knock 2-3 down in mid, so this round's already over before it's even begun. We've just got Frosty K and Snakes to lurk. Snakes is the cat face. He likes animals.
That's correct.
He played his fish at Frag.
Yeah, he had a different cat face yesterday, if I believe. Oh, yeah, for sure.
So he's up in his cat face game. He's bringing a new face to this matchup.
That's right. Oh, hopefully. I mean, those guys, I was talking to them before the match. They said they were quite tired and didn't get much sleep the night before, but I think they're used to that because they said that's their par for the course.
That's the pug god mentality.
Right.
Up till 4 a.m. pugging.
Well, this is a pug map, so let's see if this is all set in play. This maul is going to make things difficult underneath the fence. It's going to burst. And they are hemmed in. Only Snakes left. They'll be cleaned up by the MP9. Both kills go the way of the VSA. Extra cash his way. And extra money for that op.
4 lives, so barely any reinvestment into this. This is just going to be another opportunity to farm. The question is going to be how they put those SMGs into play to get maximum cash money impact here. Presumably, we're going to see some aggression from Floppy, Spongy, and VSA, and see Caboose and a Proto sort of more of the anchors on sites for if those SMGs fail. But it's just bare Glocks. At this point, AZIO is just going to rush a site and hope to God that they can get a bomb down. It's not looking good. Caboose going to take first peek, and he gets 2 already, and there's the support from the SMG. VSA, 2 of his own, and this should just be over. Frosty K can't even retrieve the bomb before he's done. He's out, he's pushed back, and the SMGs overwhelm him. So just a complete smack, a rebuff on the B-bomb site.
Well, this is really problematic for AZIO. So they got the bomb denied to them 3 times, and there's hardly any kills. Especially, I mean, at that range when you're coming across B main and you only have Glocks up to offer, not even any utility to get them off of the angles, you're not going to do any damage to Vision. So you can see their weaponry right now is very subpar compared to their opponents, but in fact, this round means nothing to Vision. The only thing they need to accomplish is kills. Kills 2, 3, anything beyond that is a victory in Vision's mind because it puts AZIO into a very fragile state at the cost of only MP9s.
Here's the first engagement. They've already got CTs out towards the back line. They've gotten so far forward on the Vision side.
CT smokes, those are deep.
That's beautiful. Because now they've denied so much map control. Yeah, they're not actually going to hold it. They're going to fade back, but it doesn't matter. They've got the impression that it's held. However, both A-site players going down is going to make this difficult, but AZIO still wants to battle it out on B.
Hunter's in heaven. This is wild. Can he defend? He's got a great Molotov here, and he gets both kills. I was saying he's got 1 HP. Uno. That's all that's needed. Now, I was saying there's going to be a burner round for these guys to be able to use, but they only get 1 kill. But look at all that damage. But close only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes, and I bet they wish they had a hand grenade. 1 HP, 4 HP, they got 1 kill. You want to be able to get more than that on an expendable round for your CT sides, but it was expendable nonetheless. 1 is better than none. They go right into a full buy right behind
Double op. Double op comes out immediately. It's going to be VSA and Spongy picking up the big green guns, and there's no op available for AZIO, of course, having just reinvested into the AKs. Now, there's not really the risk of the full reset. It wouldn't be comfortable, but AZIO, having kept 4 alive, is sitting all right in the cash flow. Meanwhile, for Vision, this is the statement round. You've got guns out. You took the 3 rounds off the back of the pistol, but here's the round to seize control. You take this initial encounter, this initial full gun round, you can start to run away with the map. You can start to build that lead. That's exactly what they're looking to do, and the ops are going to be looking to pick it up. Spongy, there's the shoulder peek. You got to be careful with that on land.
The smoke's in for Truck. That'll also block off Toxic side. A molly into Squeaky. Vision can rest assured that nothing's going to be coming through the Squeaky side for the time being. So keeping AZIO at bay right now. Caboose with an aggressive push for the CT side is all the way into the sunroof. Losing his life, though, this might actually turn AZIO's attention to a softer B site. There is, however, an op here with VSA. He'll fire the shot, fall back. Throwing a flashbang as well will allow rotations for Vision to readjust off of that A side after losing Caboose at B. So they are correctly making their pawn shifts.
Having just lost that second player, I can't imagine they commit to the B bomb. The bomb's sticking around. If they drop this, this round is going to be looking rough. There's so much presence here at B, and they really don't have any information towards A, but now the rotation's going to come in. Splitting the defense, losing that Z player makes life difficult for D. The trade is there, but they don't even really need to face. Frosty K's now all alone and hemmed in, and he's just going to have to make a hero play straight into the crosshair of an op, and the ops, the double ops, claimed 4 of the kills in that round.
Yeah, that's a tough spot for AZIO. I like the maneuvering. All of AZIO's shifting when it came to pressuring A, not liking the way that looked, start to shift over towards B, not like the way that looks. They had time afforded to them, though it started to get thin. By the time they were starting to reaggress into the B site, they had just shy of 30 seconds on the round. At that point, if anything goes wrong, you lose the round just on time. They end up committing their lives to the greater good, but they only get that 1 kill against Vision. Vision are now still fully bought up, but AZIO are going to try and do more with less.
Look at this
Op,
force.
AK, and pistols.
This is
hardly any utility.
Woo. Hunter opens it up, takes down VSA, says you're not going to get that double up into play early in this game, this round rather. Picks up the 1. That's the opener they needed, because this is clutching at straws in a lot of ways. And so the more straws they can grasp, the better. The double op is retrieved, and Caboose is a perfectly formidable operand in of his own right. So the danger is not left, and that's a perfect exclamation mark on the point I just made. There's the second as well. Caboose holding on strong. He's dropped 2, and it's starting to look a little weary here for AZIO. Actually, he didn't connect on the second. I could have sworn that was a frag.
No.
I'm blind.
He swung a little wide. You could see a little bit of frustration, too. After he missed the shot, he jittered his mouse a little bit. But here comes the peaks.
There it is.
Hits that one. I love that the X-ray was off there. You can see how quick these players have to be able to react to that. So the entry is only really Frosty's CZ. They'll put Modem over by the snack position. He's got the shot done. That was huge, because if he dies there, the round goes south very quickly into a 3v1. But it's instead 2v2.
The problem here is that the bomb's still not planted, and so the CTs have been able to set up. They are going to wait for that plant to come in, but the advantage they have is now the smoke has faded. There's only a single flashbang to work with here, and pretty strong positioning from MTM, but he goes down. The crossfire is now not established, and it's just Frosty K dancing around on site with an op at close range. It falls apart. The double op can be retrieved here for Vision, and they're going to steal away a 5th round.
And a bomb was planted, finally. AZIO was struggling to make a little bit of extra cash for themselves. So they'll be awarded an extra $800 on top of that. But there's the road is starting to stretch across the horizon now. Vision should have another easy round coming at them. I'm actually surprised they've bought as they have. I expected an MP9 to arrive onto the map at least. It's very difficult at this level of gameplay that even if they're just pistols, they should at least get one kill against you.
Oh,
and that's where you want to see an MP9 on the field.
Such a good crossfire set up here. The vent player is just going to be able to knock them down. He still hasn't peeked. There it comes in, and there's the kills. Caboose just picks them all up and stacks them up like he's collecting.
I mean, you're exactly right. They smoke off mid. They broke that vent really, really early in the round.
So there was no audio cue as they started
there was still an audio cue, but you don't expect that there's a player at that because it broke as soon as the CTs rounded the corner on Z. So you know they're not already in mid yet. So it may have. This is going to land on top of the boost, right? No, that lands way deep. I can't remember where that one lands. I know there's a really long.
Is it a highway?
It might have been.
Highway or truck?
It lines up, but already the first casualty of war is one of your better fraggers, MOTM, and they lose snakes as well, so they're getting gutted. And a molly will land over cross default, so there's nowhere that these T's can go. In fact, it's just going to get flanked, wrapped, and you had a CT in a main there. We talked about the mobility from Vision on the pistol round. That was a mimic of that pistol round, but there was rifles in play, and they got it done even easier than that pistol round.
They're really struggling to survive first brush with the ops without taking the initial casualties, and then as soon as they have that casualty, we've been seeing pretty much a 5-man stack out of AZIO so far. They haven't really done a whole lot of defaulting or slow play, and so as soon as that initial op kill comes in, it staggers them a little bit and just long enough for those rotations to be perfect to flow right in.
Yeah. AZIO don't have much utility here. Just a flashbang. Oh, ooh, Spongy.
Oh, spots the toes?
We saw the toes.
I don't think he did.
Smoke's our client side, so the thicker part of the smoke could have been currently masking that one.
He's looking for it, though. I think there's a peek angle. I think he spotted the toesies. Little piggies.
Yeah, we'll see if now that there's a player that has snuck across. Spongy shouldn't trust that information that he didn't see anybody crossing. He should always be aware that, yeah, maybe somebody got across that smoke into the left side of A main. So his support right now would be across highway. That's going to be floppy. Nice D. An opening is possible right now, but Spongy behind the box. He's got a great flashbang that seems to come in. That actually may have been a T side, but he gets taken down anyway. Weapons are now going to be recovered in AZIO if they win a round on an eco of all rounds. This would be incredible. The bomb now being recovered and shifted over towards the default position. Cover fire setup. It's a 3v1. Make it a 3v0. Eco victory for AZIO, a much needed round because Vision have already virtually taken the lion's share of the half, and we're only into the top of the 10th.
AZIO was a man crawling through the desert on his hands and knees, and that round was an oasis.
But it was only like enough water for them to drink.
It's an isolated oasis.
They have to move on.
They've got to travel on if they want to be rescued. Can't just live at the oasis forever.
There's no double off setup though this time for Vision. So the heat, if you will, has at least broken a little bit, but they lose snakes right out of the game. There's discretion in A main. Abrado and Caboose both getting kills, and the CTs own the map. This is very difficult for AZIO's side to be able to maneuver this because you basically lost both of your axles. You have no trust as to where these CTs could actually be. They haven't even checked over towards Squeaky, so there could be a super long flank coming their way. Hunter's going to be committed, of course, watching the B main push because they saw A main push. A lot of times teams will do like a global aggressive strat. Everybody push a little bit and then start to back off and see where they stand. But it ends up being a one-man advantage.
You know, we were talking about how Cache is a little bit less of a tactical map than perhaps some others, but I have to say, VSA, I'm assuming it's a lot of his influence. The calling's been on point here. It seems like everywhere AZIO wants to go is the exact point that's been reinforced by Vision. Part of that is just luck of the draw, the gamble, but part of it is that it feels like they're reading AZIO incredibly well. Familiarity with MOTM as a caller, with what this team wants to do, clearly coming into play here. And now Spongy has a great opportunity to pick one up, but he's going to fall off the angle. And losing VSA makes it more difficult. Tries to re-peek, and Hunter has him red. So that's going to be the site taken and potentially a great follow-up round here from AZIO. As they've now got the site locked down, there's not a ton of utility, just 2 flashes for Boost to try and get back in. And he's got an AWP. He's 13 HP.
It's back to a 2-on-2, and yeah, you mentioned the utility is not really all there, so they're going to have to get this done the old-fashioned way and leave it all up to a Prado. He gets shot after trying to chase Hunter. getting into B main from headshot was that. But third round now for AZIO. This happens on Cash. The name is coincidentally relevant to the economy, but it ends up being very streaky. I've seen Cash halves actually go 7 rounds one way, then 8 rounds the other way. It's all about getting your economy under your feet at any given point. Ooh, club grenade, that would have been
close.
Beautiful if it had not just taken a left turn at Albuquerque.
You know, the wind wasn't right.
That's right.
Cross breeze.
Yeah, there's a right to left
guys.
crosswind in mid. Not many people know about.
Yeah. It's a crucial detail. This
Yeah.
is actually a golf
That's
game.
why I miss all my op shots in mid.
Yeah.
It's because of that crosswind.
The bullet curve.
That's right.
Just too much.
It's actually the Coriolis. It's the Coriolis effect of the map spinning around the world.
It's a glass cannon for Spongy in this round. The double up clearly critical to the way Vision wants to be playing Cash, and they are loath to come away from it. So sort of a little bit desperate here from Vision. They're going to have that loss bonus start to mount, but they'll definitely be on an eco if this one doesn't go their way.
There was all this presence in mid for AZIO, just at least utility-wise, but Floppy has no pressure on him at white box.
Oh.
He just swings. There's nothing to stop him. There's no smoke. There was a pop flash into mid, but nobody peeked the angle. They were still waiting for a Molotov in vents, and I think that's memory from AZIO on that one eco round. Having a CT push into mid so quickly and get into the vents, they were having flashbacks of that, and I think that's having an impact on this round. There's almost nothing that AZIO can do now. Yesterday they did win 2v5s. It was with Hunter and Snakes one time and Hunter and Grim the other time. This time it'd have to be Hunter and Mom.
Hunter going to pick up one, but he's been spotted. VSA gets the tag, not the kill ultimately. They have to make their way in towards site, though, and Hunter's going to start to be overwhelmed. Taking out the op on site is important, but he's lost his life in the process, and now it's all on MOTM. Only 10 seconds. He just has to try and get the bomb down. It's desperation hour. 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3. Can't do it. No time. He's just going to go ahead and stay on site, and they're going to make a move.
Yeah.
There's the shot. It's the USP while jumping.
Of course it is. So he gets clocked. Now, there wasn't... AZIO had won the round prior to that. So he's not missing out on like a couple $1,000 worth of loss bonus, but $1,400 is something, you know. Not gonna have that. It's gonna be an eco round for AZIO anyways. Oh no, they had enough to be able to buy that up.
They won a couple rounds. I mean, they had something behind it.
I thought that their economy was a lot more fragile than that. I am mistaken. Fired.
You hired me, so
right.
You.
This is where people angry tweet me right now at @topical_TV. Go nuts.
It's going to be a bit slower from AZIO. They don't want to quite test the waters, just bald-faced and blind. VSA is limited here. There is no op available, but the 5.7 is going to get it done. The smaller gun working out just fine. He'll eventually burn alive, and there's the second kill on site. Utility used excellently there from AZIO to actually take. However, they've got nothing left in the bank. The bomb's not planted yet. Nice molly to make them uncomfortable, but the take's going to have to come in. They've got just enough smokes to buy them time. Plant should be happening in just a second here.
Well, Vision don't necessarily have to make a move until that bomb is planted safe for B main, and you do have players that are out in that direction. So AZIO have the end game, and wisely nobody showing their face. They know they have numbers. The only way that Vision get back into this is if somebody makes a mistake. And those mistakes are being made right now by Vision, but their hand was forced. There's nothing they could have done. There's an over jump right there. Spongy tries to chamber another round. You get virtually a flawless round for Vision. After getting clocked in the previous round, you had 4 AKs and a CZ, so a pocket AK, and you only lost that little pistol, which likely was picked up by somebody else. So no big deal. That actually is an eco reset against Vision instead.
It is. They were at desperate hours.
Oh, how the tables have turned.
How the turns table. So 8-4, it's already a successful half by Vision's standards. I mean, on Cash, it's just so even. Once you hit that 8 mark, it's like, all right, everything after this is bonus. So we'll see what they can pull out for the rest of the half, but it is a nice return from AZIO. They're certainly not out of this. The fighting spirit showing through. LTM has to be a little careful. He's getting low. And Pistons, of course.
Oh, he got tagged again.
Ooh,
oh, it burns.
Life.
Oh, my goodness.
They're through. What a shot from a Proto. That's the instant tap, and there's the bomb is under control.
Real.
This should be the round. It's Hunter, but he's just got an op, and he's got 3 targets to find. A 1v3, and op is not really the gun for you. Caboose with the 1 tap. Might as well have been an op in his hands.
The
And it's going to be 9-4.
A main and Squeaky push completely disarms them. I mean, they smoked up the Squeaky side, and they're like, you know, AZIO trusted that nobody in their right mind would push through that smoke on the backside of Squeaky with pistols, right? There's no way. So the A main players came in, distracted those guys that are defending, and then they just got depantsed by the guys Stewie pushing the smoke.
Caught with your pants down is never a good time.
No.
So AZIO,
No, it's
recognizing
a good
the
time.
situation, recognizing the situation, are kind of backed against the wall here. That's an initial frag that's big to pick up, but Caboose has the lineup. Bomb's not crossed, but it can be tossed over. There it is. And Hunter picks up 2 from Checkers. Frags come out. It's looking like they're going to salvage around here. AZIO, this was critical. The Molly gets the planter. There was no pressure on him. He could have just hopped out of it, but I suppose Molotov works out. Proto's going for it.
I think that was the right play.
Oh, yeah,
You have
absolutely.
to get a little greedy sometimes, and there hasn't been too much just bold-faced greed except for these last 2 rounds. And I wouldn't even say the 1-2 rounds ago was greed. It was desperation. They were on pistols. They got creative. They pushed through Squeaky with multiple players. Used a flashbang and forced a couple players back. But it is the 9-5 right now as we hit the final hour of the first half. And it is a weak bye for Vision. And this could likely end up 9-6, which is pretty standard for anything Cash. Cash has a fairly wide range of opportunities one way or the other as far as score lines are. But we saw this early on in the first half. This aggressive push and map control for the CT side. VSA, point-blank range. The bomb is handed to him in a basket. And now it is all Vision, it looks like. No, turned right back around. Hunter and Snakes get 2 kills to at least bring it back to a 2v2, but the bomb is still gifted to the CT side. Hunter fights his way back for a 1v1, and it's not going to happen. Vision Gaming take the 10-5 lead rather than the 9-6. Maybe AZIO got a little bit overzealous there, played a faster B main push, and ended up right into that snacks position against VSA.
It was
Bomb
the nice
first.
exclamation point on a really lovely played half by Vision. And what we're going to see now, look at that, strat hiding. Cover the mic, strat hide there.
Is that what it was? It's like,
Got to watch out for those liberators watching
yeah,
your
NFL,
cams.
you got to do that,
Hold
right?
the play sheet up. But it was an excellent half for VSA and for Vision in general. They called well. They had presence in all the right places, it felt. AZIO, the silver lining here is that they started to wake up at the end there, and hopefully they're really going to come alive in that second half and make this a barn burner.
Yeah, 10-5, I said there's a wide range in Cash. 10-5 is still pretty, it's okay. It's manageable.
Oh, certainly.
9-6 is about the limit of where you would want to be an acceptable first half if you're the team that's trailing behind, because the pistol could even things out. The pistol cannot even things out at this point. At best, you're going to end up 8-10. Then the rifle round will come around, and Vision has shown that their maneuverability on the map is so good. Now we get to see them as the tempo controllers on the T side. They were virtually the tempo controllers on the CT side anyways. See what happens.
There's a 3-man stack here, right by the quad box, and it's got Floppy playing right into it, gets knocked. The presence was towards the other side of the map, and there's only one player to defend, but they're going to need to roll quickly on. That's the bomb plant secured. So one way or another, this is a relatively successful round, and they've already got forward positioning here. Caboose so far into tree room, he can just hit them as they come through. They're going to expect it, I assume, but there's the distracted focus, and he gets 2. Caboose does exactly what he needs to in his role, plays it to perfection, and he's playing AZIO like a fiddle right now. Now the retake is on. There's 2 flashes available and a kit as well, but 2 players are unarmored. And it's going to start to be chaos. Hit comes in, and Snakes clears a path. Bomb will be defused, and the round is taken. You're a kid, you're a squid now.
Oh, yeah? So that was yes, a successful round for Vision side. Got the bomb plant in. That's more than AZIO could say in the first half. They struggled to get a bomb plant till like the 5th, 6th round. Just didn't really happen. AZIO get things done. They'll be able to buy up in the 3rd, or they're going to pull out a little bit of a little sneak attack here. I said they were the tempo controllers.
Aggressive.
See if they assert their dominance right here.
Pedal is to the metal. Ain't no brakes on this train. Ain't no brakes on their wallet. This is like when you enable Amazon one-click and you don't realize you have it enabled, and all of a sudden you buy.
You may have had a few drinks, and then you're just, I need this.
Why do I have 6 garden gnomes in the mail? I don't know. First kill going to go the way of AZIO, though, standing strong so far. VSA found out the caller himself, the man of the hour, and now the hit comes in, but it's perfect positioning. Frosty K, they line up for him.
Oh, and the bomb's there. Prado up and over the red box attempted. The patience from Frosty, though. Did you see that?
It's beautiful.
He shoulder peeked out of the quad, spotted multiple Ts coming out of A main, and just backed off and stayed dead quiet. Nobody checked the quad box. He stayed there and waited, and as they rounded that tight corner, got as best of a choke point as he could get. He lined up, killed 2, did damage to the 3rd as well. With a UMP, he paid for himself that round, saved his teammates' lives, and AZIO will quell that early buy round for Vision after a bomb plant.
Now, what's interesting here is you were talking about the fact that the pistol can't quite catch you up to a 10-5 lead, but when you force into the second and you get completely rebuffed, it's certainly going to make it a lot more difficult. And once again, Vision are just going to be locked out of the site. It's just VSA. He's got his back turned to a CT, and he's hemmed into a corner. It's just a matter of time.
Well played.
Claps coming out from the audience. I know for a fact that Snakes' family's in attendance.
Oh, yeah.
So the cheering gallery in full effect here for AZIO.
And Grimm's mom's here, too.
Grimm's mom's here, so the squad's rolling deep. They've got Tryhard as well, their manager. So the AZIO fan gallery is showing up in force here at GEXCon.
So when this game ends up tied again, and we essentially have a restart of the game, I want to hear the audience bring that one in. 10-8 right now. The earliest opportunity for that would be 10-10, obviously, as Vision Gaming looked to prevent that early mid-presence. We saw AZIO struggle with this in their first half. They had very little aggression into mid that was successful. Those Snakes in the same position as what Vision had success before, but they're just overwhelmed. Now they push into the B site. It's going to be moderately traded, still 3-on-3 now with 3-on-2, and you still have some good firepower, though, for the CT side. A missed shot. Hunter may have not even pulled the trigger at that point, but it is going to be Modem in a 1v3. He has the firepower to be able to do it. Thank God he's got an AK and not an M4, though the Ts do have some damage dealt to them. It is instead going to be Caboose with a 1-tap, and 11-8 is the scoreline now.
You remember what this team used to be called?
Which one, Vision?
Vision. F1 race car peak.
Oh, that's right.
Spongy into B. That was an F1 race car peak if ever I've seen one. Slides around the corner, instantly pulls the trigger, instantly pulls off the head.
F1 race car peak. They had the greatest team logo. One of the greatest team logos. Just MS Paint. As best as you could draw a race car.
It's going to be full AKs here for Vision as they try and make their mark. The double op is out for AZIO. MOTM sporting the second of the big green guns for the AZIO side. We'll see if this wrinkle confounds Vision as it caused a lot of stumbling blocks for AZIO on their own side. Now it's brought to bear. Great mid-presence. Oh, he gets around the corner.
That was actually really big for Moss to be able to survive there, but instead the pressure goes B. So Vision pushed into mid, forced the players away from highway, which shifts them towards A. All the while they push into the B site. That disintegrates any kind of cohesiveness that AZIO have linking the sites. So they just drove a wedge between the two by taking mid, and then they just divide and conquer, clean up the remaining players on that B site. Now they hunt. Modem did not expect that the hunt would begin so early. Grimm will be able to defend, but these guns are not going to last very long. How much blood? They actually might put enough of a bad taste in the mouth of Vision that they can chase, but instead, with 3 alive, recovering an op out there as well, it is going to be a successful round for Vision, further extending that lead. I see Snakes' dad in the back. Wave. Yeah,
there's the wave.
He's back there.
There's the zoom. There's the wave. Fan gallery up in here. It's always nice to get that land feel, get the cheers coming through, get the claps. I know we have VSA making some noise on the stage. I'm guessing we're going to get some from MOTM at some point in this series. I know he's been trying to simmer that down a little bit, but vintage Ian on LAN it's a magical thing. One thing I've noted, Sloppy going to take one. He's traded out actually by the USPs. The bomb site will fall and be planted, but if the USPs can do some damage, if they can keep this AK alive, that's a nice party favor to take. It's exactly what he's going to try and do. He gets himself a second. That gun might even be retrievable. It's close enough that he could grasp at it.
My mind's telling me no.
There we go.
We're going to totally open those vents. Oh no, don't lose the AK like this.
There you go.
VSA pushes. I talked to VSA before the match, He expected almost just this. He said, yeah, they might reach double digits, but I do not think that they'll be able to take any map off, is what VSA was saying.
This team flows like water. We saw it on their CT side where it just felt like the rotations were
It's
instantaneous.
VSA right
they were always there. But it's similar on the T side. They get a pick here or they get rebuffed here. They actually lose the pick here, but suddenly they're on the opposite side of the map and force.
Yep.
It just feels like they're teleporting.
They're very, very fast. That play style can be punished with a slow and almost fake style strategy. You have to be able to get creative on the fly though, because Vision Gaming are adapting round by round. It's not really strategic. It's tactical. Here's a quick push right into B main. One and done. Grim's the only player to be able to pick up a kill. And again, AZIO is just kept at a 40-foot distance. And they're going to get diced up yet again. 1v1, though. There's a good chance right now. It's going to be Frosty holding the high ground. Oh, he tries to fake the drop by jumping, but it's going to be a peek out. Caboose had a great opportunity there. He shoulder peeked just as he watched Frosty jump to try and fake that out. And then he had him at least half a second worth of aim disruption.
This gets a little tricky for both sides here. They're both going to be exhausting the reserves. They're both going to be digging into the bank. And just to highlight in that last round, what it really came down to was that MOTM clawed back a 3K on site before he ultimately went down. Big moves. But it's 13-9, and there's not a huge margin for error here for AZIO. So if they lose this, we're going to be on to round 14, competing for map point with no cash. And if Proto's going to start it off well with a frag with Wings back in the vents, they're expecting it this time. Can't get them twice with the same trick. Now mid is falling. Frosty K, what a shot, gets two.
Oh no, he had help. That was not a transfer. That was help from Modem in C. That'll regain the lead for AZIO, at least manpower-wise, but right now, again, more divide and conquer. They leave the B player on the site, and then they turn and fight one at a time. Players falling to the rear. There's going to be Modem now in heaven, 1v2. This is recoverable, and he's fighting as best as he can. He's down to 5 HP, and he would need an absolute ringer of a headshot against VSA. A 14th round secured now for Vision, and this is AZIO's pick.
Here's the question. Do you go for the pray for a force buy, or presumably they're going to save up here and play for OT?
I would say play for the OT.
You got it at this point. 6 rounds.
AZIO got lucky with an eco round victory before, but that is exactly that. It's fairly lucky. You need to bring to bear every bit of firepower you possibly could get.
It's not going to be great.
No. Their utility will suffer. Here comes Caboose. Hey, there's 3 players here. Make it 4, actually. That's actually all 5 in mid. I didn't see the player that was over by the sandbags. It shouldn't matter. Those unarmored players are going to have trouble keeping their pistols pointed down range with the aim punch. And there's the 15th. There's the play for the overtime. AZIO needs to win 6 rounds in a row. And
they can't even healthily get up rifle armor. It's going to be a lot of FAMAS. It's going to be a lot of UMPs. It's really scraping the barrel here.
I think you're going to need to, even though it didn't work before, AZIO are going to need to put a player in the vents, either boosted through the backside, and that's going to cost you a smoke, or play him quickly into mid, which is also going to cost you a smoke. So AZIO's utility does not have long legs. They are going to have to get cheeky, and I see why AZIO's pulling this one off, but I don't think they had the correct flashbangs to be able to take that A main side. And looks like a Proto just says, Mr. President, and jumped out in front of Floppy, saving his life. But 1 for 1. Make it a 1v4 now for Hunter. He's got a FAMAS of all guns and no presence. No idea where these G's are. They're going to actually push him, as has been tradition from Vision that entire map. When they were on their CT side and they controlled the pace of the game on the CT side, you can't expect much to change when they switch over to T. It's going to be more or less the exact same thing.
Magnificent tempo play. Really good change-ups, rotations, flow. Vision is just looking very strong at this point, right? They're coming into this, they're looking great. I was saying that Nuke is one of their strongest maps, so this is going to be a big test for AZIO, is can they take Nuke off of Vision?
They have a lot of practice on Nuke during this event.
They certainly do.
But it is Vision's map pick, and Vision, they have played this map, to you say, some with expertise.
Perfection.
So this is going to be, I think, actually a little bit more competitive than Cash may have been, just because I have seen what AZIO is capable of on Nuke.
Sometimes you just got to wake up in the morning a little bit, too. Get some frags flowing like coffee.
True.
Get them in the brain.
That's very true.
A little bit of killing caffeine.
That's right. So, I mean, AZIO was saying, I mean, they were lacking some sleep over the night. So
We'll
I mean,
see
so
if-
were you though, right?
I mean, gotta enjoy yourself. I was up late compiling notes for this final. You know,
Sure
just
you
putting
were.
in the work, putting in the
Sure
hours.
you were.
Putting in the hours, folks. Speaking of putting
Darf
in the
was
hours.
at the clubs.
All
Darf was at
the clubs in
Don't
Dulles,
let him
Virginia.
lie to
I was
you.
at the airport clubs.
Yeah.
Baggage claim is lit.
Dude, Carousel 7.
Carousel 7 is where the party's at.
That's right.
But speaking of putting in the work, putting in the preparation, if you need to put in the preparation to bring your team to the next level, you should take a look at Linode. They are a private server hosting service.
Yep.
These are virtual servers running on servers with Linux-based SSD setups. Really high performance. If you need a practice server, this is really how you're going to elevate your game to the next level, having this at your fingertips. You can use our promo code GEXCON18 for a $50 credit on any purchase at Linode. And we're also running a giveaway on the Twitter. If you head to the N3rd Street Gamers Twitter, which will probably be linked in chat right now, but it's N3RDSTGAMERS.
Yes.
And the top pinned tweet is a giveaway for 12 months.
Yeah. Click on that, yeah. And you have to
Of
follow
Linode server.
N3rd Street, follow Linode, like and retweet the tweet. You're going to be entered in to win 12 months of a Linode CSGO server to do as you please with. So you want to use that for, that jumping shot. That was post-clock, too. So there was $1,400 denied.
That's style points.
It is.
He would have died to the player who was on the ground anyway. Like,
Right.
it was inevitable, but style points, flare points,
It
flying USP.
So yeah, this tournament not possible without the support of Linode, and Linode wants to do the same thing for you all out there, support you guys and your Counter-Strike needs. So check out Linode.com, ladies and gentlemen. Check out the Twitters and enter yourself in. In addition to that, we are going to be doing post-event. We're going to be compiling the top 5 Linode plays.
Ooh, some of these might be
of
on
the
there.
event. Oh yeah, a lot of these are going to be included, including that one.
That
right
one.
there.
That's the top play in the event so far. The friendly wave.
This is what I love. This play right here.
This is
We
brilliant.
spotted him. Then he comes out silently. 2.5 kills. Makes it easy for the rest of the team. A+.
That F1 race car peak right there. Spongy. Beautiful. Frost Decay, the last stand of AZIO in many ways in this round.
Oh, it's caught on camera.
Elite team
That's-
handshakes right there. That's
how
synergy.
that's how you're going to end up getting on some Reddit. Whether it's now, today.
Maybe they need a
not,
handshake prac
but
server.
future on, yeah, maybe you need a handshake server. Right. But ladies and gentlemen, we're going to do a short break before we come back for map 2 between AZIO and Vision Gaming on Nuke. Stick around, ladies and gentlemen. You're watching the NSG Eastern Conference Championship.
N3rd Street Gamers is the forefront of community-based gaming in locations expanding throughout the United States. N3rd Street Gamers brings the community, the tournaments, the professional team boot camps, and the celebrities to your backyard.
was talking to Relics about his time with the United.
What game do you want to play? You know, and that's it. Like, I had been streaming Counter-Strike for a little while already.
Philadelphia was actually my very first East Coast LAN, I think 3-4 years ago.
Did a tasting for the fellas, and they loved it. They're like, we like you. I'm like, I like you too.
Hey, this is Benita from CLG Red, and you're watching NSG TV.
Dallas is just powdering his nose here, but we're back with the N3rd Street Gamers Eastern Conference Championship.
It doesn't help. I'm still very shiny.
Cougar CSGO 10K Open as presented by Linode. And we're back bringing you all the action in this red-hot matchup between AZIO and Vision. Now, in the first map, AZIO fell flat coming out the gates, and Vision really started to run away with it. They clawed it back and brought it to a much closer game than it could perhaps have been. But now they face a very tough test. We're headed to Nuke. And Nuke, as I discussed in the pre-match, is really Vision's home turf.
Yeah, I think I'm frozen. There's a curse here for AZIO. So AZIO is strong on Nuke. Are they as strong as Vision? I'm not sure. But I think what actually, there's the idea of, we played a lot of Nuke over the past 2 days. We're experienced, we're fresh on Nuke. But on the other side of it, everybody's seen our strats. What more can you do? And when it comes down to Nuke, if you're T-side, you have to have the outside secret stairs smoke. Then there's a couple different ways to paint that picture, because you need to put it in the minds of the CTs, whether they know it or not, and they know it's like, okay, the smokes, they don't necessarily could be downstairs, but you have to give them the idea maybe they're downstairs. Otherwise, all your CTs are up, they're defending a ramp room, it's an easy defense. Those smokes come out, but this is where you get creative. You drop those smokes and you create a horseshoe around Mini. And then you just pump the brakes around the corner of Mini and you stay really tight on that smoke.
Handbrake turn.
Yeah, you come around. If you got the Batmobile, you got the hook that comes around and grabs the wall, and you just bend the corner around through Mini. That is a very strong strategy, but we actually saw AZIO get punished by that. If there's a CT defender that stands on that corner, all the T's run in, and it's a train wreck, and you just shoot them because they can't see in the edge of the smoke. AZIO won the knife round, though. They are choosing CT side.
So what's going to be interesting here from Vision, one thing I'm looking out for on the other side from AZIO, I watched them play the Nuke game against Accelerate last night, which was the third map of the best of three, and again, they really handily took Nuke. And it was very much just the old Vision playbook that they'd brought over with VSA as the new caller, installing the same thing. You know, the experience of Floppy, Spongy, and Caboose in that system really shone through. Protoss adapted well to the roles that Quinn used to fill, specifically XM by Squeaky Door. It's a strat that I'm seeing spread a little bit more, but we're going to see if VSA maybe brought some new wrinkles to the table as well, or if they've changed some things up. It's going to be the fast play down ramp. There's no one to really stop them, just the passive hold. And AZIO are left to readjust to figure out how to deny this plant. Bomb will go down, so we are into the post plant. 5-on-5 post plant. Make that a 5-on-4 as the first head falls. It's Hunter to pick up the Ginger Dome of a Proto. And now Snakes knocking him back and forth, but Hunter's gone down. Floppy making a stand for himself. Even numbers, and no one's even approached the bomb, really. They're starting to get out there, but the T's are in weird post plant positions. They're dancing around on the balconies. And it's down to a 1v1. VSA can't get it done, however. The bullet is found from Grim as the last survivor of the pistol round. He will get the full 10-second defuse and take a very important pistol round here for AZIO.
Close, but I mean, that's what they need. It is a CT-sided map. AZIO can breathe a sigh of relief and having a little bit easier start to this half. Bomb will be planted. Let's see if Vision do the exact same thing that they did on Cash, which is actually an early buy for the T side after a bomb plant.
And they do.
They what?
Caboose has an AK up
already. Insta.
This is the strat, apparently. I'm going to guess that VSA tosses over the AK to Caboose. They've actually got two, so I think Floppy tosses over one as well, because those players are unarmored. So you've got a double AK buy, which brought to bear in the second round is very powerful. Now, AZIO might have an inkling that something's up since they had the same exact thing happen to them on Cash. VSA's knocked, but he's just got a Glock. There's nothing really, no real harm if he goes down early on. 1-0. And they are trying to roll through. AZIO, first encounter. It's Snakes to fall away. He's done a little bit of damage. He's got the info, and now he's back. Utility goes down to block it. No kills found as of yet, even though they keep having skirmishes. Hunter will eventually draw first blood. However, he's trading instantly, and that's not an exchange they want to be making, especially as a Proto follows it up with one more. Health is incredibly low on Vision, but if they hit the first bullet, it's ultimately not going to matter. And a Proto has swapped over to the Deagle to wisely keep the rifle on the higher health player. Now the bomb will be planted, so that's a second bomb plant secured.
Oh, that's... what an angle. Caboose is barely alive. He's going to get cleaned up. All this damage is dealt. Everybody for Vision was so wounded, but it is only VSA, and he cannot get it done from above. Good recovery right there. Grim nearly not fist-bumping Modem. Got a little scary. But that could have been horrifying for AZIO right there. Your T side on Nuke, if you don't get a good start, it's not the end of the world, but it's such a CT-sided map that if you don't get, I mean, you want to get those first 3 rounds if you can.
Sure.
Because it makes the rifle rounds so much less pressure. So there will be pressure that's mounting on Vision to kind of get themselves in gear at a little quicker rate when those rifles come up, but we have seen that they are a stronger rifling team on Cash. Now the angles aren't quite as long on Nuke, nor the action quite as fast. It's a very fast map. This is in fact going to be a fast strategy. Straight into the site. Grim is disarmed. Didn't expect that they'd already be through the hut. And they're going to pick up some kills. 3-on-3. Finally starting to turn around towards the rifles once reinforcements arrive. Spongy's gotten himself an M4. Might just head for the hills and hold on to this one for a following round. There's going to be rifles next round anyways for Vision Gaming. But what this does is makes that op buy that much easier.
A couple things to consider here. One, I mean, the strat there was to get the bomb down again. They've had 2 bomb plants through the first 2 rounds. This doesn't seem like it's going to be a possibility. But what they've done by keeping those first 2 rounds so very close is they really haven't allowed a lot of bank to build up here for AZIO. So they're already in a position to be able to buy next round. And if Spongy had gotten that kill, that really would have been punishing. Keeping 3 alive at least staves off Desolation for another round. But there's not a lot of cash reserves here. Grim, the only one who really had a lot of money, and he's already fully bought up. So they're invested back into it. Snakes is going to be investing in as well. There's a little bit of cash on MOTM, on Hunter. Actually, just on Hunter and Frosty K really going through. So they're on the brink of having taken those first 3 rounds. There's no bonus.
I like Grim's knife name. It's Dracarys. Dracarys. Burns everything alive.
There you go.
Early damage done against Caboose. Likely grenades. Yeah, those are most certainly grenades. coming outside. The Secret Stair smokes. There's the return fire. Hunter actually is going to peel some information from that. Usually the T side gets down there with nary the resistance. Look at this off angle, though. Modem trying to peek on, see if they're going to boost up, and they are. Modem's got a tidal wave of T's soon to be heading his direction. I like the way AZIO's playing this one. Because of the spray through the smoke was in return fire, they're able to put Modem down there, and he plugs up the lower halls before it Ys off into multiple angles. So he's able to contain the entirety of Vision with just a single smoke. Now they're out here, out in the open.
They're cruising. They're rapping. They're sliding around. They've switched positions with the CTs in many ways, and Floppy's popping the squeaky door, so that's a little bit of information here. There's going to be a player coming up vents pretty much immediately, and that yields fruit. MOTM trades himself out, but that's not bad because it hampers and hamstrings the Vision.
Oh, Floppy.
Frosty Caden is in such a tough spot. If he comes out at just the right moment, finds one, swings a little too wide to pick up the second, and now it's Chaos on site, and just Snakes alive, stuck in a corner, trying to survive, and he's just going to have to get the heck out of Dodge. It is the first round picked up by Vision here on Nuke.
Yeah, it should be. The money the way it is for AZIO right now, Snakes pushing up and getting into the nitty-gritty of this would be seldom warranted. Though there might be some calls that, yeah, I tagged the guy, he has to be sub 20. Yeah, you've got two players. Floppy's at 30 and change. Caboose is sub 10. So there was some argument there for Snakes to go in and try and clean up house, finish off some of those wounded players, but it's not going to be. They'll keep the M4 into the next round and spend what cash they can, which is a little bit lacking. There's going to be some SMGs, most certainly going to be a shotgun on the field, I would expect. No?
I don't know if they're going to employ it. It's a weird save. Snakes has money, and he'll buy, and no one else will. There's nothing around him. I mean, do they just play around this M4, or do they just put him in position to maybe have maximum impact, have a classic Snakes round, and just kill everybody? He's on top of the hut, but he's going to be cleaned up. He's still there, still alive for a moment, but he's unable to have any impact. It's Frosty K to pick up their lone frag in the round, and he's got himself an AK at the very least, but he's just going to have to save it. Blocked out of sight in a 2v4. There's just no ground to be gained here for AZIO, and Vision are going to tack on a second round. He's sticking around. Frosty K wants to contest.
They're going to have some guns in the next round. The more damage he could do, it's the same situation as last round. You can save this. You can also try and hunt this. It's okay. Frosty's been able to maneuver, and he's got the wounded player out in front of him. That was a Prado. As they start to shuffle around, they know that it's a save, but he whiffs the shot. He turns around. The audio cue wasn't great, apparently. VSA thought that was coming from Trophy side. But he ends up getting a 1-for-1 trade at the end of the round anyways. Now that's 2 rounds that Vision have abused a very fast lobby-to-hut push. And it catches the player that jumps up on top of the hut who's watching towards Squeaky. I think that molly that's typically at Squeaky needs to be turned and dropped at hut. That is something that needs to happen. AZIO need to respect this fast play from Vision.
There goes the Squeaky molly. There's a molly on towards Silo.
No.
There's the cleanup in ramp room, instantly traded. They lose a proto, but that's just fine and dandy by them. And now the hit comes towards the lower bomb site. Snakes is going to stand tall, gets the one, nearly the transfer on the second, but he's picked up. Bomb will be planted in a moment here, presumably collected and retrieved, and that's a big kill to find to the back line. Grim down behind the double doors, gets wrapped on, and now they can plant fairly securely. It is a 2-on-3 retake, and it looks like AZIO is strongly considering just saving.
Yeah, you could definitely do a save here, but again, damage was dealt. They know they got a headshot on at least one of the players and a couple body shots, meaty hits into Caboose. So if you were thinking a retake, you'd have to get the retake immediately. The problem is, and I think the real deciding point of that is no smokes.
No smokes.
You don't have a smoke for ramp. You need really 2 to secure ramp. You need 1 for decon. You need something for double doors. There's too many angles for the T's to be at to be able to defend that lower site. So they'll just give up the ghost, hang on back, save their rifles into the next round. All the while, the score's been drawn dead even keeled at 3 up.
The other thing is that the money is finally stabilized for Vision. You've got 9,500 on Caboose. He's going to be able to toss guns over. He's not actually even going to. His teammates can buy up, so he's just going to be hoarding.
Yeah.
Why does 1% of the players have 99% of the economy? Caboose. On the other side, it is going to be 2 rifles retrieved from the last round, and we'll see if they can have much impact. Otherwise, it's just going to be pistols as we save through for the following gun round. Basically, if they run into one of these rifles and you get a 3K, great. Maybe this round is salvageable. But otherwise, it's largely going to be about damage or keeping these alive into the next. It is the Smokes outer, and they're going to wrap back in towards Hut once again. Here comes the hit on towards the A-bomb site. They are rolling straight through, and they're knocking heads from shoulders. Heaven player's isolated, but it's out the squeaky door, and some damage done off the pistols. There's still a rifle in play as well. There's MOTM. He has to win this duel, and he'll do exactly that.
There's bomb, too.
That's
They're going to give this one a try. There's guns to be picked up, too. The bomb will get grabbed and, I believe, drawn to the lower site. Floppy will take that one through the safety of the back halls and decon. 2v2. Aprado holds this upper site to catch the rotation. Hunter, oh, the guns were at his feet. That drew his attention in, and Aprado is easily able to take that one back. So it's Modem now in a 1v2. Bomb is out down here with him, but he has no intel as to where the T's are because he knew initially there was one on the upper site likely to come down the vents. But now he's committed in the control room, and he's gotten a freebie.
There's no reason not to go for that. Just added damage, chip away at the economy a little bit. You're going to have a buy in the next anyway, so it's not super punishing if he loses his gun. He's actually going to be able to save it as well, so he gets to have his cake and eat it too. But he'd like a cake that was a round win. So this is maybe a subpar grocery store bought cake.
Yeah,
it's not homemade.
AZIO is efficient in the sense that they're saving a gun every round, and that dollar bill's like Laffy Taffy, and it's molding in their hands, and they're getting kills every round. 1 or 2 players for Vision's side is not dying, so their money is growing, but at the same time they're going to have to start buying for their teammates. And you see that impact. Vision don't have the best of buys. It's a Prado with a MAC-10, and now you see AZIO is playing more respect towards the Hut. They push directly in. They don't even care. They smoke off that molly, and they're directly into the A's site. AZIO even played respect to this strategy. Line him up and knock him down. Caboose actually got a molly kill on the back end of that one, but it is all Modem. Again, 1v3. AZIO have no answer to this fast Hut play.
Here's the thing. You were talking about, they're limited with the MAC-10. The MAC-10 was a willful decision. They had plenty of cash. Even just on a proto, he could have bought whatever he wanted. Caboose had 8,400 going into the round, so he could have dropped easily. It was a willful decision to play incredibly quickly with that SMG and to just slide it around corners as a scout. It worked out beautifully. Yeah. Somehow the MAC-10 player is the one who saves or who lives through, and we're getting some noise out on stage as these players are starting to get a little into it, a little heated. 5-3. Vision Gaming have not given up a round since guns came out on the server.
No. I said that early on. Said once
rifles are out.
The T's wants to win those early pistols, but once rifles are out, we saw the supremacy by Vision in cash with rifles and their maneuverability. Look at this. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I just anticipate every round that Vision's going to be pushing in through the Hut, and AZIO's thinking the same thing. So now Vision can just start to mix it up. They could bounce around the map. They could do what they please because AZIO have been the telemetry that AZIO is starting to observe Vision with is that these guys are playing in Hut. Everything's centric around Hut. So then they could end up over-responding to that.
Now what's interesting here is the 5-man stack worked out nicely in terms of getting themselves a rifle, getting a player down, and now it's working beautifully. Nice. They're just picking them apart from range. Vision actually in a dangerous position of about to surrender this round. It's all just Spongy on site, surrounded. He's a man who's hunted, and it's just a matter of time before Hunter cleans up the last kill. So AZIO, off the back of a single op and a 5-man stack, is going to steal away around. Not only do they steal away around, but keeping 4 alive, they steal a buy.
They do.
That's highway robbery.
It is. They duped them. They bamboozled them. I'm not sure how that round ended up playing out. So the lower site was obviously taken. It was through vents and through ramp. Through ramp? Had to have been.
They slid down Squeaky, or a secret.
Okay, yeah. Okay,
and then the re-aggression comes in through vent and ramp.
I mean, they got that. Sometimes Nuke's so hard to, it's hard to pay attention to what the hell's happening. Look at this. Yeah, Caboose MAC-10 in, MAC-10 done. Flashbangs came in through the skylights, and there's not much to be able to do there if you're Frosty side. But the kills do come in response as AZIO have turned this one back to advantage.
That's a big hold from a garage, big frag to find. There's a utility here to deny, and they're going to be tossing utility onto site to make it uncomfortable to get the plant down. It will happen ultimately.
That molly's going to burn out as the bomb's getting planted. No punishment, though.
So a lot of this comes down to whether they can take MOTM out of heaven. If MOTM can rain down op shots from heaven, this should be a pretty simple retake, especially with 2 coming in from the garage. That's a big kill to find as the smoke blooms. 1 down. Good
so
flash,
blind.
but there's not there on the swing. It's all on VSA, and he's won the first duel. He knows where the second is, too. Has the information. Doesn't have the last bullet, though. Snakes will take it and line up the remaining spray as well. The fuse comes in, but by the tips of their fingers, AZIO have clawed back around.
How valuable do you think AZIO's op is in this map? I haven't seen much impact. So my thought process here is, the op's up in heaven. He won't be able to recover that. But I don't know if that even has that much impact. Hunter right now is 8-8. He is fragging. He's not fragging as well as he has been. Modem's picked up the op as well as being the secondary op for the team.
Ian's been holding the op for several rounds now, though.
I don't think the ops really have that much value. Everything for Vision is so fast that it's always ending up being a retake anyways.
This will be a good showcase round because it's going to be the op straight in towards a 5-man rifle stack, and Hunter's already eliminated. It's a double op investment, and one of them's already down. Here's the second as well to face. He lines them up, hits 1. There's a kill elsewhere on the map as the stereo frags come in, and now only 2 remain for Vision. So MOTM's op has been effective. He found a kill. He's knocked down to 5, but they're spreading the kills around. They're sharing the wealth. It's just Spongy. Spongy in a 1v5 situation. He's got Clyde in his name. I was kind of wondering if one of his teammates would have Bonnie in there. But I guess they're not going for that iconic of a duo. He throws the Molotov to bait upper, and now he's checking vent.
Yeah.
Only a few moments here.
It's a rope-a-dope. He's throwing utility to one absolute corner of the map and looking down towards the other absolute corner. He'll get a bomb plant out of this. Money to Vision. Things are starting to slow down a little bit. That bomb plant was one of the later bomb plants, but it was in a desperation. Smokes, double smoke, I believe, in Hut. He's going to peek his way out. There's the flash. He misses the shot because there is just absolute obscurity. But Grimm's is slashing his way in. Bomb will be defused, and AK is saved. Money is made for the team. It'll still be a buy.
Yeah, Floppy's going to be limited. The Proto's going to be limited, but he'll probably just go back to the MAC-10. No, he's got a rifle as well.
Galil.
Floppy has a Galil. I'm surprised they didn't bring out one of the SMGs.
Where do you think the speed's going to happen? Where's the violence? Where's the speed at this round?
Let's see. We went ramp last time. I think they're going to go back for the Hut swing. Crunch on towards A. Oh, this might be a secret play, depending on where the smokes bloom. I think it's a secret play, actually. Hunter in great position if that's where it ultimately comes. He's going to find the first, blinded up, gets traded out. However, that is all the information for his team. They know where the hit's coming. It's going to be 3 men down secret, although they hesitate towards outer. Here's the adjustment. Floppy's wormed his way into a nice position here by the squeaky door, and it's all going to come down to timing of when he opens this.
We've seen that before. I think a Proto just got legged. Took a big chunk of damage. All the T's now coming in through Squeaky and Hut, but there's the flank. Grim either came up the vents or was playing next to the vents and just had all the T's looking the same direction. When Vision have been doing entries through Mini, they'll have the first 2 players. The first one will turn left and look towards Squeaky, clear out that angle. The second will turn right, and the third will park himself in Mini looking to heaven. So they have this V of fire that comes in through Mini, but that time they just could not deal with the player that was on that first responsibility of looking towards Squeaky.
It was like a game of whack-a-mole. Every direction they look, there's another AZIO player hopping up elsewhere. And speaking of AZIO players hopping up, it's going to be Snakes on the flank running away. He somehow stayed alive for the moment, and he'll get another. Good impact from Snakes. His op will ultimately be retrieved. Now there's a rifle and an op to work with for Vision Gaming side that came into this with not a lot. 2v3. If they find one more kill, this becomes very viable, but this is a strong position from MOTM. He's looking for it. His attention is distracted, and he's going to get the close-up shot, but Spongy converts it. Misses the no-scope. A tough one to hit, to be sure, and now they pop right up the vents like John McClane, and they'll get the bomb planted, and they'll have a very strong position going forward. Oh, this op holding close up. He looks away. The timing. He gets the wrap. They're not expecting it. They're turning every which way. They can't find him. Oof.
He was hidden in plain sight. They came up those vents. They looked around, and he was there, able to fire 2 no-scope shots and hit the targets. At point-blank range, sure, that's one thing, but those rifles should have been pumping down.
Should have been.
5, 10, 15
could have gotten
rounds
one, but I can't imagine.
Yeah.
They reflexively check the nook right by the vent.
Right, because you don't expect the guy to be right in front of you.
It's just bold.
Yeah. Hiding in plain sight, man. So you're back to an eco round for AZIO. They'll go into the last round again, kind of in that weaker buy, the same way they ended Cash. It's not the greatest Woo, floppy.
Floppy.
Those are squishy targets, but very accurate, very pinpoint precision for him to be able to snap to the heads and the upper bodies and finish the jobs. 4 kills for Floppy.
I would say Vision is very happy with the way this half has played out. It's been a stronger stand from AZIO than I perhaps expected going into the map.
Yeah.
But I think as we slide into the second half, it's going to get very rough for them.
Yeah. This is a better buy than their end of their CT side on cash. They have 4 rifles. Still a little bit hamstrung on utility and a little bit hamstrung on firepower. Hunter's not going to be wielding the op. He's got an MP7.
Rocket League's getting lit.
You know what else is getting lit? Modem.
Yes, he is. He's pushing the lobby, and the lineup from
Same
Floppy
thing.
gets 3. It's beautiful.
Just like the round before, and here is the entry through Mini as well, through Squeaky. That'll be a very quick end of the first half. Majority of the rounds were just wicked fast play. You could see the emotion right now on Vision's side. Very happy at the end of that one. They're smiling, they're laughing, they're loving it right now. That was a very, very successful first half for your T side. You won the half. Not typical.
Not at all, especially considering that the CT side picked up the pistol and the two following off the pistol. So if the pistol hadn't gone, we'd have such a one-sided game right now.
Very much so.
So the question is, can AZIO pick up that second pistol? Because if they can, there's a very good shot at them being able to squeak over the line here. If they don't, I'm going to be honest, I don't really see a path forward for them. I think it might be a 2-0, and that would be out of the tournament.
Well, one thing keeping AZIO afloat is that pistol round. Can they win another pistol round and end up with like a 6-round handicap in their score line? That's their lifeline. So AZIO's T side right now taking a little bit of early damage. Low blows from that defender shooting through the smoke of Squeaky. Aiming below the belt, but sometimes against an armored target on pistol round, more damage. Nice shot from Spongies. Hunter tried to round that corner and was unable to do so. Plenty of presence, though, ramp room for the Vision side. Oh, my goodness. Give him a third. Ooh, he got it. A proto, ladies and gentlemen. A 1-2 tap, and then is just sweeping him under the rug after that point. AZIO will not get that 6-round handicap. Vision will take that pistol.
This is desperate times. A proto with a brilliant hold, just tapping away with the USP. Picks up 3.
It's all reflexive too. You get like that he went instantly tap, and then there was like a half a second of and then woo. He wooed himself. So yeah, that was actually pretty cool. Players are just as surprised sometimes by their actions as we are. Very late secret stairs smoke. Maybe intentional to show that Frosty has gone down here. Now it's going to be a late company to join him.
Now, a crucial piece is the classic Vision buy, which is you've got the XM on a proto. It's not going to work in this round as he's likely playing Squeaky Door. But here the hit comes through, and it's actually pretty even. The XM and a rifle have been retrieved here. Bomb is isolated in ramp room, however. They're going to have to get back out in order to find it. Spongy has a great position to try and deny them any access to that bomb. He's going to have his teammate coming in to reinforce as well.
Modem had one more bullet. Spongy dies there.
It's the law of the CZ. Live by the CZ, die by the CZ.
Of all things to have now for Snakes was a CZ and a auto shotty. It is against an MP9 with, again, I mean, you got head armor too. So this is going to be like a battle of attrition. I would love to see these guys square off against each other from like back A site all the way to mini.
Just a long standoff.
It's just like, it's
like an old
awkward
musket line.
Yeah, right. See what ends up happening. Instead, it is instantaneous. Floppy through the hut, which seems to be Vision's game. They are.
Save the XM.
Yeah.
That's the most important part of the buy.
No, he's gone back to the MP9.
Did he?
Is that a panorama glitch?
I think it just didn't update. He definitely picked up the XM.
Is that panorama? I saw him pick that up.
He definitely picked up the XM. It's going to update just. Yep, there we go. That is a panorama glitch. Welcome to Panorama. It's the new world, ladies and gentlemen. And
I wish you could zoom in on my face right now. I'm like, it's half like anything below my nose is disgust, and anything above my nose with my eyes and everything is just like confusion.
It's a brave new world. So they're going to toss the XM over to a proto. A proto has slotted right into Huin's old role on this roster of playing the XM on upper site A. And he's going to be doing exactly that once again. It's an unorthodox strategy. You're starting to see a few more teams adopt it, and it's been brutally effective for Vision. Frosty K's hopping, and they've missed him. He's blind, but they'll finally clean him up before his vision clears. Grim, however, is the Grim Reaper on top. And it's just a matter of time before he's found as well. Some decent impact, but ultimately nothing really to hang your hat on.
Where'd those flashes come from? Were those his own team? If those were his own team outside those flashes, that would be unfortunate because he was in behind those CTs and they had no idea. But 7-11. See how it ends up playing out. You got a full buy, really, for both teams. It doesn't look like it for Vision's side, but there is money in flux as well as the auto shotty having so much viability on this map. Anything from mini to mini close angles to hut to vents to everywhere. You can go in the lower halls with this shotgun. Very, very close quarters combat.
The XM in his classic place, and it is up to AZIO to make the initial move here. Vision's not really giving them any aggression. They're not baiting into this dance at the moment. There is actually superior utility on the AZIO side, so we'll see how they employ it to bully their presence onto the site, especially as a little bit more control utility starts dripping out here from Vision. Starts sliding on the way. If AZIO picks up a round here, if they keep enough players alive, they can reset Vision and then just start to claw away at that, at what seems like a pretty strong lead at this point.
Yeah, you're only down 4 rounds. The tempo hasn't been set in this half either. This is the tempo round. It's rifle v rifle. Anything before that was just pistols, which is either extend your lead or recover and tie the ball game. Secret smokes go down, but like I said, you throw those oftentimes just to put the presence of mind for Vision that they could be down there. Floppy's going to be into the Ninja side. Molly comes his way to be able to peek out aggressively. He at least fights his way into this one. There's the auto shotty. Absolutely Goomba stomping the first 2 players and an additional one after that. It was a team kill, even an assist from a Prado. So I give him the 4K on that round, dancing on top of that hut.
That is the exact... That's the ideal situation for the auto shotty on upper A. That's the textbook way that they want it to play out. And they're just going to break it back out. They'll do this over and over and over again. And it's something that teams find so hard to deal with, and it's something that teams find incredibly tilting as well. Because in 95% of situations in CS, the auto shotty is effectively worthless. And so players get very upset very quickly when they find that they just can't deal with an auto shotty. And he's going to be playing Garage right now. Someone's going to slide around the corner in just a moment, it seems. I believe that's Hunter with the Deagle, who may find himself with a face full of pellets in just a flash.
So much money made from that 3K for a Prado, too. So he ended up buying for some of the rest of his team. And there is a man down. Frosty gets a 1 dig. Caboose is down and out with a rifle being recovered by that. So we saw him go down into the secret stairs early with, I think, 1 smoke. Another 1 dig. This is Hunter, though, on a crossfire from an off angle. He's now still contesting against VSA, who fights and wins that fight, but still casualties met. Return frags have at least even the odds for Vision, but they do not want to play this round like this. It being a 2v2, essentially against an eco round. Light buy.
Certainly looking a little bit desperate here, but that's an important frag to pick up for VSA. He just has to find a second. There's the swing, and there's the lineup. MOTM, the wide swing king, brings another one home. He's the man of the match in this moment. But we'll see if he can take the match home.
This is what we saw in Cash. AZIO had won a round they didn't rightly deserve to win. It was an eco round, or at least a light buy, because they were going to have a full buy in the next round anyways. Now they recover a lot of those AKs that they had lost to the CTs 2 rounds prior. Still only down 4 rounds, but Vision at the same breath is only 4 rounds away from closing it out. Hunter peeks out, saw them on the cross. They're going to be an aggressive play. Hunter has 2 angles to try and contend with, and it's going to be Caboose. He fights the first, but loses his life immediately. It's a 3-on-2. Vision trying to play fast outside, possibly trying to recover that tempo that they had set in Cash and in the first half here.
Missing that op shot is going to make it very difficult indeed, but VSA doesn't need the op support. He'll just line up all 3 on the site. They were all in a row for him, and just like the ducks in the line, he'll knock him down.
Knocking down ducks?
I don't know. I sort of went bowling pins to ducks.
Yeah.
The metaphor got a little mixed in my brain.
I mean, you
ever seen it? So
Now I'm confused. I got all my
time,
metaphors all mixed
You know when
up.
you've got ducks in a line where there's the mama duck and then all the little baby ducks?
Yes.
I once saw, and this was kind of terrifying, but it ultimately turned out okay. A boat came past and didn't see them and just straight ran them all over. But they just ducked beneath the waves, and as soon as the boat was past, all of them popped right back up.
Maybe
like a bath
you
toy
saw
where you pull it down and it pops right back
you
up.
saw one duck, and then it got hit by the boat, and it split into many ducks.
Many ducks. Laws of multiplication.
That's right. I mean,
collide them at high speeds and just multiple ducks.
Life is very PG rated at that point. Gets hit by a boat, and then just pop, more ducks. They're like germs.
Like the Hydra.
That's right. Exactly.
Let's grow more heads, more duck heads. I want to see a duck Hydra now.
So where do we stand? What are your odds? If you were a Vegas casino, where do you put AZIO right now for being able to recover?
5-round lead, only 3 more needed for Vision to take it. They're up against the 4-spot Eco. They're presumably, if AZIO loses this, we're getting to map point.
20-1.
Yeah, real bad.
Yeah. Not pretty, because the money's not even good here. Speedy feet, though. Snakes with the floating like a butterfly, making his way into the ladder. He can actually chill here, and now the team goes down. He needs to stay near that ladder, I believe, because his point of contact here is catching them where his pistol is so valuable in the vents. It's really a follow me, follow me. Follow us down into this low site so that Snakes can make quick work. Oh, but here comes a shotgun. Ankle spotted. There's the swing. Snakes makes quick do with that and actually upgrades to more powerful weapon in the ladder. It's a 4-on-2 right now. A quick round for AZIO this time as the retake may begin, but there's nothing to speak of. They've hardly been able to even look into the site. Floppy has an op, swings over to the left, but will miss, and I believe going to call it quits. Fighting for his life now at the back of the ramp. He will escape up the side skirts and run off in his hopes into the sunset, putting himself at a longer angle. He'll be able to defend. Here comes the push, a second kill. Was it worth it for AZIO? Absolutely. They hardly invested much into that round at all anyways. Got an op out of it and a round win.
They're going to have the stronger buy going into this for sure. The rifle saved. That was a sloppy round from Vision. Very sloppy round.
That's the second time we've seen that, actually.
It was desperation moments for AZIO. They had them in their grips, in their clutches, and they just let them slip away, like trying to catch a fish with your hands.
The comparison between those 2 rounds where it was a sloppy play from Vision, AZIO had been playing slower, or had been playing actually a strategy that is recognizable, getting Snakes into the vents. The last time it was playing slow and playing lurk, and those were getting kills and netting guns. Oh, those are eco rounds. That's a 3rd one in the series that AZIO has been able to snatch.
Damage being traded out here, but ultimately it's stacking up for AZIO, and as it should. Nice peek from Spongy. He catches the bomb as well. This could be dangerous. They're duking around, and now there's 2 to reinforce. Good flash, but it's distracted focus, and it's going to take Frosty K a little while to get this bomb back up.
Oh,
there's so many bodies here. There's the nade, though. Nade follows it up, and there's the rifle at range. MOTM ultimately converts, and he cleans up the round, but that looked so very dangerous. He escapes with 2 HP, and the money's going to be awful going into this.
That bomb was so close.
So close.
Yet so far. It landed on the other side of that blue bin, and it was a stretch. They look... You can see Bibby in the background. Bibby's very concerned.
Bibby's a little worried here.
Bibby's a stone-cold killer, man. 10-13. Those odds are shifting very quickly. VSA is going to get very, very close with a P250 and play at red box. He can hear them stomping their way into the stairs, and we've seen these quick flanks. He might just try and follow suit and become a wolf amongst the sheep, wolf amongst the sheep, but it is slow. No casualties, only minimal damage, no big deal. Those 20-1 odds have just turned.
They are making the run. They picked a winning lottery ticket in that forced buy round. They played it to perfection. All the numbers came up.
AZIO win this, it's a tie ball game.
Yes. Yeah, presumably. The forced buy comes in, the XM's out.
Eco after this for
no
Vision.
op.
Yeah.
This is tough. Vision watching this lead dwindle away. And really, AZIO are playing this well, but I'd say Vision have no one to blame but themselves.
Oh, this one-way smoke. Something that AZIO haven't seen yet. This is just one of those ace-up-your-sleeve style plays. This is what I was talking about. You have those secret smokes, and then you try and play this horseshoe wrap into Mini, but the caboose on the one-way smoke is there, and he's still going to contend. They play tight around Mini, but there's the turn from Hunter. That's going to clear the 6 o'clock out. He'll turn back and fight on the front lines. It's now Spongy in a 1v3, and AZIO do take the round. It is likely going to be a tie game after this one, as Vision have been sent right back to economy despair. This is going to end up being a barn burner of a game.
I have to be honest, I didn't believe coming into it, but AZIO are walking into Vision's home turf, and they're making it their own. They're taking the shoes off, they're kicking them off, they're getting up on the couch, making themselves a pot of tea.
Yeah.
It's looking good for AZIO. Now, this is a critical round, of course. There's some armor and pistols, and that can spiral very quickly. But they've got good position. There's no reason to just feed into it. It's going to be a slower round. AZIO can afford to wait. There's the spot. Frosty K's got the range, but he doesn't have the life. He'll catch a 5-7 bullet in the brain.
Run away.
Oof.
Put some distance. Nice job. 2 headshots. Looking for the third, but he struggles to control the recoil. Good round for Vision. In fact, they own outside fairly cleanly now. They could even go up to the top of the marshmallow, get a second rifle out of that, and make a good college try of the retake. God, that 5-7's still so good. VSA shoulder peeks that one out and drops Hunter down to about 50. The angles are not favoring. No further damage was dealt to AZIO as far as lives. And you have a 5-round streak, winning 6 of the past 7. For AZIO, dude. Welcome. Welcome. You know what? Let's try and hear that crowd. Can we hear that crowd?
Let's get some noise out here, folks.
Oh, that one's not below the belt. It doesn't count.
Who's that in the background? Cosplay. What do we got there?
I don't know.
Some pauldrons on him.
I didn't see it.
He's
I didn't see a
armored
red
up.
and white pauldron. This is a big round. Huge round. The 14th, and possibly a sigh of relief, because you're going to force your opponent into like an economic, well, do we save and play for overtime kind of thing? Because Vision's economy wouldn't be able to rebound off of that. I think Vision would play for overtime if AZIO won this round. Was that a flub? Was that a double smoke into Squeaky?
I think it may have been a T-side smoke and a CT side smoke.
No, I think 2 CT smokes came that direction.
Eesh.
That would
Crack
be a
shower.
problem. We're still a minute left on the board. And if Vision don't have the economy for a retake, it's likely a save. Say there's 2 casualties quick and Vision aren't in a response for economy on utility. It's a quick save call. We actually haven't seen any really quick save calls in this game.
Nice jump from Floppy, good trade, and a Proto, like a nightmare from the vent, springs up and ruins someone's day. He's still going to be alive, and he'll fall away. And now a man advantage, but that's a big pickup to find in lobby. VSA on the flank, cleaned up, now numbers even, and a lot's going to come down to what Spongy can do from on high with the op. They've eliminated the outside player, though, and now there's no reason. They'll just drop the bomb down lower, and Hunter will stay here to distract. Bomb can be planted.
This is a really tough decision. The mentality of Spongy right now, and he's likely talking to his team, especially VSA, whether he even plays this retake. It seems like that's the call to give this one a shot. There's the shoulder peek. This is land. Any jiggling is usually frowned upon, but maybe he was spotted. Of course, the timing doesn't favor Spongy. Nobody's going to give him the angle. They definitely saw Spongy this time. They'll start to give him some harassing fire. But if anybody peeks, there's a nice double peek. I was about to say, if anybody peeks solo, you're going to give him a chance to win the round. But AZIO's taking the lead, man. What? We were saying 20-1 odds.
This is an enormous comeback.
This is immense. And the faces have kind of flatlined for Vision now. We saw how happy they were earlier, and now their mentality is a little bit more serious. And there's the buy. Nothing was saved for Vision. I'm sure they would love to have that op this time. They've been able to do serious damage with even less than this before. Don't ever count them out.
The XM's back on the field as well. Crucial piece. The vital part of the buy.
No utility. 1 kit, couple flashbangs, 1 smoke, 1 molly.
Desperation hours. AZIO looking like they're going to put map point on the board here on the second map of this best of 3 and take us through. I was concerned after Cash I did not think they'd be able to come into Nuke, but they have shown a different gear here in the second half of Nuke.
This is good stuff. Good Counter-Strike right here. Look how patient Vision is with their utility usage, only seldomly trading it. So some smokes came down for Secret, and they've thrown a molly to the back of Red Box. Caboose is playing the off angle in here, and really that's a 1, and maybe he'll pick up 2. Nobody pressures him. He hits the target. That's going to be bomb spotted too. He's done tons of damage to Frosty. He still exists in this region. The advantage owned by Vision. 30 seconds and change now. Time will dwindle and become another opponent for AZIO's side. It's a 3v5, and you've lost a lot of the map control that you desperately tried to recover, or at least take early. It's now up to 2 men, 1 man standing. It's only Frosty, and Vision take the round, doing so much with so little, upgrading their weapons now to 3 AKs.
The twists and turns in this game.
There's our man Jasper. Jasper, give us a thumbs up, and then Bach over there on the left, some no-name guy.
I think he's.
Sure.
I thought his name was Dapper Dan.
Dapper Dan.
There you go. Bible Man is watching you. That's a different story for another day.
14 all. We are going the distance.
Op is back out for Hunter. This could be critical, but look at that Molotov buy. They just go straight through it as well, so they take the heat on their toesies, and it's all going to come down to a Proto. They weren't expecting SM. He gets 3. The auto shot he put to deadly effect, and now Floppy is perfectly poised for the follow-up bomb. I can't even get to sight at this point, and they're just trying to defend their flank. They're trying to turtle in and find something. But Vision will afford them no territory. It's Snakes and Hunter to try and make something happen. They need a miracle. There's
Saves
the first.
the day, but a flank to the backside. 1v1. Snakes versus VSA. Huge round for the 15th, and at least secure yourselves overtime. The patience, the reset, really from both teams, the maneuverability, but getting caught on the ladder. Snakes was disarmed. And the 15th is gathered by Vision Gaming. AZIO are now going to have to play catch-up again. But we've got to remember that their streak of winning 6 of the last 7 that they had done so well started on the back end of an eco.
Just to remind folks here, this is tournament life that they're fighting for. AZIO, if Vision picks up this last round, AZIO is out of it. They've traveled here. They've come here as a squad. This is their first land with a shiny new roster, and they are on the brink of being eliminated. VSA so close up, will find the kill, dancing around the crosshair. He somehow doesn't take a single bullet as well. MOTM out of the server already, one of the emotional leaders of this team, and the IGL as well. It's a big head to find early on, and Vision Gaming starting out this last round to perfection. There's not a ton of utility available to them, but they do have that XM, they do have that AWP, and they're going to be able to bully AZIO around on site now that they've picked up the man advantage.
Dude, Prado with this auto shotty. MVP for this map, for sure. That lower hall's presence, the timing of his just...
It was so unexpected.
Every time. Right, left, right, left. Every time he dodged in and dodged out was another death for AZIO. So now they start off on the back foot, and again, they challenge the direction of the man with the auto shotty. 1 and 2 for Floppy. They've got plenty of angles. It's going to be a 2v4. Was a 2v5 at one point. There's been plenty of wins this direction. Now 1v3 as it's all up to Snakes again. He's gotten the first, but he's shut in the back. Vision Gaming take the series, best of 3 series, in the first 2 maps, but only just. Only just.
They have made it to the grand finals of this N3rd Street Gamers Eastern Conference Championship Cougar 10K Open.
That's right, exactly that. They will be the grand finals, and I believe our
Look at
other...
that grin. Look at those pearly whites.
All right, they've got to be pretty pumped at this point. But congratulations to them. It was a hard-fought battle. These were the 2 teams I expected to be the favorites coming into it, but it was fate at that point. The way that the group stages played out, and then the brackets were set in stone after the group stages, that these 2 teams had to have, at best, battled it out in the semifinals and knock one down.
You can see the emotion there. It's a new roster, and this has certainly been a strong showing early on. That was a fantastic series. Nuke was played to the wire.
Yes.
And at this point, they can hang their hat on what they've achieved so far. Look at the VODs, review the tapes. come back stronger next time. We hope to see them in Philadelphia, certainly.
Absolutely.